Yo, what's good? You're listening to Everyday Superpower, where we talk nonverbal communication, human dynamics, attraction, repulsion, everything in between, okay? Two links in the description of this video. One link will take you through to a YouTube playlist, which is my catalogue of body language. You'll be able to read someone from top to bottom purely through their subconscious mannerisms and behaviors, okay? Once you dial in that information. Second to that, we'll link you to my Patreon. That Patreon will have you joining me in assessing, observing the game on real life first dates to see where it goes, what attraction cues are sent out, what subconscious repulsion cues, and so forth. I'll break it down to you so you can understand that, internalize that, and apply that to your own life. You won't get that elsewhere, all right? Now, let's talk. Let's talk game. Now, let's talk evolutionary biology. Let's talk biology. Let's talk human instinct and the depth and the fathoms of one's need to procreate as far as attraction is concerned. So we could talk a good game as far as telling a girl how pretty she is, how much you like her makeup, and you can bond with her on a mutual basis over shared interests and so on and so forth. It's all beneficial, it's all good. But the deepest and, or should I say, one of the deepest, and if not most important, principle one must consider whilst in engagement is the undercurrent and purpose of one's reality, of one's life, and that is to procreate, right? Now, of course, this game's going to switch up depending on the age of the person you're speaking to, because if she's a little bit older, it might be a little bit out of the question, but we can still create magic and fantasize, right? So, if I tell you that I want to put a child in you and I want to blah de blah de blah de blah, that's going to touch one at a deeper, more biological level, and it's going to separate me tenfold from the next man who isn't talking about that. And it doesn't have to be legitimate, you know what I mean? We're just playing with fantasies here. But it's the deepest depth of fantasy because it's going to touch you to such an extent beyond the superficial. I'm going to continue your bloodline and I'm going to ensure that this confident and competent genetic makeup I possess will be passed down and our children will have that. And I want to share it with you. I want to share my makeup with your makeup. And I want to give you this, the most precious gift anybody could ever give. And you can trust me to look after that. Now, that's not to say that that's going to be the case and you're going to go do that with everyone and anyone, right? But as a passing joke, as fun, as commentary on the issue, you're going to touch someone on a deeper, way deeper level than if you were to just skitter around the edges and sheepishly talk about, the obvious, the blatant. If you talk about, I fancy someone, or I'm attracted to someone, all right, yeah, you might be attracted, but the undercurrent, the actual underlying component of attraction is down to the bringing of two together to create children, to create childbirth. It's the meaning of life, to continue on your legacy. All right, first and foremost, the first principle is self preservation, and then from there on, you create. Given you can preserve your own life, you then create life. That's step number two, right? So, given that you're both well alive and to some degree comfortable in each other's presence, you're not on your deathbed, you're not starving to death, you're not dehydrated to the point of passing out, right? I doubt that's the case generally. We can move on to step number two, and that's the beautiful act of procreation. And me personally, given that you're gelling well with somebody, I think you should just crack jokes about it. I think you should be full forward and bold because nobody else is going to experience that power of conversation and understanding. It's a beautiful thing. She knows what needs to happen, how you need to engage to create children. Yeah? You might be talking about a one night stand, a bit of fun, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you can call it that, but the actors to which you're engaging with, the reason why it feels good is to spur you on to create children. It's a biological process that is in place to spur you on to procreate. That is the root of intercourse. Yeah? It's not purely down to pleasure and desire and lust. So when you play them games, you're going to create the deepest of connection. And this will come into play even if the woman you're speaking to doesn't want children. I mean, look at the world we're living in. You wouldn't believe the amount of women I speak to. Oh, I don't want children. Oh, I'm not wanting children. Oh, right? That still doesn't mean it doesn't spur their interest when you start to talk about it openly. They start asking you about your qualities as a father. They start finding curiosity and they start to put their initial feelings to one side and find possibility with you. Of course, this is all fun and games, and we don't have to be literal, but there is a potential if you are willing to be everything I have ever desired in my life. I can give you everything we both can muster, and we can create something beautiful together, right? It's animalistic, it's primitive, it's our nature, it's our purpose. You see? That's a brief one. That's a real brief one, but that's just some food for thought. I'm not getting no younger people, and this is the real game. I'm looking for someone, so I'm more than happy to discuss it. And I'm telling you, when I discuss it, it creates a deeper connection, regardless of what they try to put frontal about not wanting children. It creates a deeper connection, a deeper intrigue, a bolder attraction trigger than mindlessly meandering on the superficial and the aesthetic. We're now delving into the world of the root of the brain. We're looking into what created them and what they can do to create themselves further and forward. Click like, click subscribe. I'm signing out.